Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Leilani. Today I am going to be doing a chit chat get ready with me, and I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on the whole Tarte Shape Tape foundation relaunching with 50 shades and everything like that. I'm going to be talking about this because I feel like it's important to talk about because I keep seeing this kind of trend just keep reoccurring, and I don't know, I just thought why not do my makeup and just talk about it on here. So that's what I'm gonna do. But before I do get into this video, please go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up if you do enjoy it. Comment down below your own thoughts, your own opinions. I would just really like to hear everyone else out. I've seen some comments on Tread Mood and everything like that, but I just wanted to see what people have to say after like hearing what I have to say, you know, if you still feel the same way, why, everything like that. So go ahead and comment down below your own opinions on the whole situation. And I would be very appreciative if you do subscribe to me. I post every single Wednesday, and I'm getting into posting every single Friday and every single Monday, hopefully. Hopefully Monday will be in like the future, but right now I'm just trying to work on Wednesday and Friday. So if you do want to go ahead and subscribe, I would be very grateful if you did. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into this video. Alright, so I already did my brows off camera, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and go into eyeshadow. And I'm using today the A Freak palette by Juvia's Place. I did a review on this palette. If you want to go check that out on my channel, I'll go ahead and link that down below. But yeah, I know that in like a lot of my videos, I do my face first and then I do my eyeshadow, but actually normally in my everyday routine, I do my eyeshadow first. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do my normal routine while I go ahead and just talk about this whole situation. So let me go ahead and just give you a little context if you don't know the situation with Tarte and their foundation. So pretty much Tarte last year, I'm pretty sure it was the beginning of 2018, came out with a foundation, the Shape Tape foundation. Tarte had this extremely successful Shape Tape concealer. Everybody loved it. I remember when I first started getting into makeup and watching YouTube videos, everyone was talking about the Shape Tape concealer. So, you know, they were very successful with that. And then they decided to come out with the foundation. Now, the problem with the foundation was that the shade range was trash. If you're familiar with beauty drama and just drama in general, and you've been in the beauty community long enough, you know that shade range has been a big topic, especially in the last year. I think what really started the whole shade range thing was Tarte's release, and then Beauty Blender, and then Fenty coming out, and it was just like, there was a lot with different foundations coming out that weren't inclusive, and then Fenty came out and it was very inclusive, and so I feel like the shade range topic just kind of blew up, which is great. I'm really glad that it did, because, you know, a lot of times people don't realize that they're leaving out so many other people, and so it's great that we just started this dialogue, but it sucks that it had to be because brands were missing the mark, like Tarte and Beauty Blender and other brands in general. So pretty much now, like a year later, Tarte has decided to expand their shade range, and they now have 50 shades. I'm not sure how many shades they had when they first released this foundation line and everything like that. I'm not sure, you know, what that looked like, but I remember vividly looking at the first pictures and being like, that shade range is horrible. I remember Jackie Aina talking about it and other influencers talking about it and everything like that. And now a year later, they're coming out with supposed, you know, an inclusive shade range and everything like that. To me, it's sort of funny how, you know, Beauty Blender did that, then they had to come out with new shades that no one's checking for. From what I can see, no one's really checking for it. Tarte's launch was a really bad launch. I think that Tarte lost money due to that launch, because I always see their makeup on sale all the time. I don't know if Tarte is actually like losing money. You know, I don't really know that, but it just seems to me like no one's checking for Tarte as much as they used to be. No one, like, people are not using the Shape Tape foundation as much as they used to be. Like, it's just, they've kind of shot themselves, they shot themselves in the foot because of this whole situation. And I think that they've realized that and now want to come back and try to shake up the industry and make something that puts them back at the forefront of the beauty community. I think Tarte needs to realize that, and other brands in general, and I think this opens up a bigger conversation that we should be having, because, okay, you know, we complain about, well, no, we don't complain. Complain has a, like, I don't like the connotation of complain. We point out that there are no shades for darker skinned people. We point out, yeah, that the shade range sucks and everything like that. We point that out, and then once they decide, okay, now we're gonna include you, not in the first launch, but in like the second, maybe even third, they might add like even more shades and be like, okay, now we're actually gonna be inclusive. You know what I'm saying? That, and then people who can find their shade, people who have never had an issue finding their shade in any foundation line whatsoever, because of course they're not the people that are marginalized ever in life ever. Once they hear us say, well, it's kind of too late for that, like, you've already shot yourself in the foot, why are we a second thought? They want to get upset at us for pointing out the fact that we shouldn't be a second thought. That's what truly bothers me. You know, I think that we shouldn't just be so, I don't know, I guess this is me personally, because, you know, everyone has the choice, whatever they want to spend their money on, that's what they're going to spend their money on. I can't tell you necessarily, I mean, I guess I could suggest that you don't spend your money, but like, either way, you're going to spend your money on what you want to spend your money on. But I'm not going to just start spending my money on this brand because now suddenly they're like, okay, well, since you guys all complained and we're losing money, now we want to include you. No, that's not how it works. You don't just get to be inclusive after people yell at you a billion times and say, this is disgusting, start being inclusive. These brands act like it's just constructive criticism. Like, oh, we don't like this formula. They act like it's like that. Because saying you asked, we listen is like saying, oh, you guys complained about the formula and, you know, but we listened and we changed it. Like, that's when that's appropriate to use that for your PR and everything like that, for your advertisements. Not when it's about shade range. You're basically saying, you guys have to ask us to make shades for you. I am disgusted.
I can't. I am disgusted. You better talk to her before I do, because I'm hurt her feelings.
I think that it's annoying that we have to do this all the time with so many different brands. Like, the amount of brands that we had to yell at and complain at for them to give us shades, like, it's just crazy to me. Like, it's crazy, it's insane to me. Fenty, why did I say Fenty? Fenty, their first launch ever as a brand, they came out with an inclusive shade range. That's all we ask for is inclusivity. All we ask for is equality. And yet that is like so unattainable. For some odd reason, these brands just say, no, we don't want to make shades for Black people. Let's give them one shade and see what happens. It's like they want us to be upset. They want us to be mad. All they're doing is limiting themselves. So that makes me feel good, because it's like, okay, well, if you're not going to be inclusive, all you're doing is stopping your bag. That's all you're doing. And I feel like that's what Tarte really did to themselves. because, you know, I just don't feel like people are, like, I don't see people using that foundation on, at least online and everything like that, but I don't ever see people like using that foundation. Tarte's now been going on sale a lot at Ulta. But now, since they've come out with, you know, these 50 shades and everything like that, it's like, okay, now since we're inclusive, you guys have to buy from us. You know, you guys have to like us now because we did what you wanted. We're inclusive now. That's not how it works. You should have been inclusive in the first place. Tarte is one of those higher end brands. So, and I don't buy from higher end brands in general, just because I'm not going to spend all of that money when I can spend money on like ColourPop or even Morphe, if I can spend my money on Juvia's Place, if I can, you know, on cheaper alternatives. At one point, I did want to get the Tarte Shape Tape concealer, but that just made me not want to buy from the brand whatsoever. Also, now just moving on to like people talking about it. When I was on Trendmood's page and I saw, okay, they're coming out with this new shade range, I looked in the comments and, you know, a lot of people are very respectful about how they feel, which is fine. You know, if you feel like we should, like, you want to give this brand another chance because they wanted to be inclusive, that's your thing, you know. I don't believe in that. I don't believe that we give brands second chances because they want to make us they want to include us second. You know, we fight so hard to be included now. We want to be in the forefront. We don't want to be a second thought. We don't want, you know what I'm saying? Why is it that white people are always, you know, they're always a first thought? You know, people with lighter skin are always a first thought. Why are we always a second thought? Why are we always included, added on, you know, included afterwards, added on afterwards? We are not an add-on. We should not be an add-on. And I truly don't stand, like, I truly cannot stand for a brand who puts Black people as like, oh, we're just gonna add you on, you know, since you were complaining, we're gonna add you on. That's just what I felt like they were saying. And you know, but that's just me. But I saw a lot of comments saying, you know, we should give them a second chance. And I was like, you know, that's your opinion. You can have your opinion. That's fine. But then I saw some people getting really, really disrespectful. If you can't state your opinion without being disrespectful to a whole entire race, then don't state it. Then just scroll. Because the fact that people were saying they're making this a race thing and you guys need to stop complaining all the time. And it was just like this whole, you know, they were very dismissive to other people's feelings and opinions. Once you get to that dismissive point, where you're just saying, well, your feelings really just don't matter because they like changed it. Like, what are you talking about? They changed it. You should be happy. Like, you should, you know, I felt like that's what they were saying. They were basically saying people who are still pointing out the fact that like Tarte, you shouldn't have done it in the first place. Yeah, you guys just complain too much. You complain way too much. And I've seen this a lot. Every time a foundation comes out, every single time a foundation comes out, I look at the comments on Trendmood because I'm like, okay, it's about to go down in these comments because someone's going to say something like that. People are always going to say that we complain too much. And you know what I found? I found that a lot of times the people that are saying we complain too much and we should be happy with what they're doing now because at least they're including us at all, you know, they're usually the people that can find their shade. It's mind-boggling to me that people who have never experienced this have so much to say about this. And I hate that. I think it's just, like, people should just kind of not speak on things that they don't know about or they have not experienced. I think it's just insane to me how, like, people can tell other people that they need to forgive and, you know, they need to stop complaining like you've ever experienced anything like that in your life. Like, literally, all of those comments that we're talking about, you guys need to stop complaining, are the people that didn't have anything to complain about, because they can always find their shade. Always. Their shade is never, ever not included. And if it wasn't included, then they'd have something to say. I just think that in the community, Black people keep getting slighted. People continuously tell us that we need to feel a certain way, and that, you know, now since they're inclusive, like, we have to accept it. And we just have to accept the fact that, like, you should just be happy that you have a shade at all. No, that's not, because it's just not the right message to send. It's not. It's not the right message to send for Tarte. It's not the right message to send that you can just not include so many people and then include them later and then tell them, okay, get over it. It's like, adding shades on is for adding more undertones. Like, that's what adding shades on should be for, not for adding whole shades in general. Like, they didn't even try to, like, oh goodness. Like what Fenty did, they added on shades to add on more undertones, to add on even darker shades than they already had, and they had pretty dark shades already. Like, the whole thing is just, goodness, it upsets me. So no, I'm not going to just, because they said, okay, now we're inclusive, now you have to buy from us. That doesn't mean anything. I still don't like the brand. I still don't support it. And obviously they're not being inclusive because they care about Black people. That's not why they're doing it. They're being inclusive because they know that it stopped their bag. They're being inclusive because their stuff is on sale at Ulta at all times. It's not because they care about Black people. And I feel like that, like, the whole intention, your intentions have a lot to do with it. So no, I don't feel like we should just have to accept that they're including us now. I don't think that we should have to accept that. I'm going to use this velvet liquid lip fondant. It says it's a fondant. But I don't know if it's going to go with my eyes or my cheeks, because my cheeks are pretty bright. Like, my blush is pretty pink today, but oh well. So here's the finished makeup look. I don't know if it's like the best combination, especially with my cheeks, but I'm not really going outside with this look anyways. I'm gonna probably wash it off very soon, so I don't even know, but I just wanted to film this video and I wanted to do a get ready with me, so that's why I did my makeup at all. I just wanted to talk about the fact that I feel like it's as in a community that's been marginalized, and that in the beauty community can be excluded from a lot of products and from a lot of launches and everything like that, I feel like instead of seeking acceptance from brands who obviously will not accept you, from brands who obviously have made it clear, you know, these are, like, in this foundation range, these are the only people that we want to buy from us. I feel like that's saying that, I feel like when they put out a foundation, you know, and I'm not talking about like the really small brands, but I'm talking about like brands like Tarte, they should have enough resources to be able to put out an amazing shade range. And if they put out a shade range that is exclusive, that means that the brand itself is exclusive. I don't feel like we need to find acceptance and we need to say, oh, you guys are forgiven now because we are now a second thought. We need to stop accepting being a second thought. I think that brands think that we accept that, and so they keep doing it. If we stop accepting it, they're gonna stop doing it. I think Morphe kind of looked at Tarte and was like, okay, we know what not to do, so at least we're going to have as many shades as they did have. I forgot how many shades they did have, but they had so many shades to choose from. However, with Tarte, it seemed like it's just, these are the people that we want to shop from us, and that's it. Which it's like, bet, okay, if you don't want us to shop from you, then just put out an exclusive shade range. And by the way, I forgot to mention this, but if they did want to add on, even though I hate that, if at least have like what Too Faced did with Jackie Aina. They put money in a black person's bag. That's the smartest way to do it. But they decided, they just, you know, I'm not cool with being an add-on, and if they weren't even going to do that, the best way to do that was to have a black, you know, influencer or someone go ahead and go in and curate those shades that they needed to add in the first place. I just think that there are better places to spend your money. And just because, you know, a brand adds you on, it doesn't mean that you have to now say, okay, I can now shop from you. Like, it shouldn't be that easy. It shouldn't be that simple. So that is it for me. Those are all my thoughts. I know that this was a very like I was kind of rambling. It was all jumbled. I know. But I hope that you got the gist of what I was saying. I hope that like I had a good conclusion so that you can understand exactly what I mean. Go ahead and comment down below what your thoughts are as far as everything that I said. Do you disagree with me? Do you agree with me? Why not? All of that good stuff. Also, if you want to comment on my face, like on just my makeup look, yeah, do that too, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. And please go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. And please do subscribe. I, again, post every single Wednesday. And yeah, that is it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!